Hey guys, Matt from Eastwood here in my home garage doing a quick little project for you guys that might be helpful. So what I'm going to make today is some really simple floor pans for an old hot rod project, but you can use this to build any type of car that you're doing where you're custom building floor pans from scratch. Show you guys how quick and easy you can do that with just a couple of hand tools and Eastwood bead roller. So let's get started. Quick little tech tip for you guys when you're laying out lines for doing bead rolling work on a panel, especially on a floor panel where you need to spend a lot of time laying out the lines and you don't want to lose those lines. What I like to do is after I've drawn my lines, I will take one of the scribes out of the sheet metal layout kit and I will actually lay it down back over my line it right up with where my Sharpie was, and then I will run a scribe right through the center of that bead or your bead line. And then what you have there is a nice scribe line for the center of your bead that will stay there even if you smudge the Sharpie while you're working with it. You still have that scribe, so you can always go back and add your Sharpie to it, and it's kind of just a foolproof thing while you're handling the panel before you actually bead roll it. Okay, so we have all our lines and scribe marks laid out for us to roll our beads, and we're basically ready to go. Now what we want to do to keep the panel from warping and getting out of shape from doing all this bead rolling in a flat panel is we need to pre-stretch the areas so that they have extra material to actually allow you to bead roll and keep the panel relatively flat. I've showed in other videos where you can use an English wheel to perform this function where you run it through the wheel on your line, and that will pre-stretch the area, raise it up, so when you bead roll it, it has extra material to keep the panel flat. If you do not have an English wheel or a way, or the panel is too big to fit in your English wheel, you can do it just with simple hand tools as well. You're just stretching the material. So what I have is just a fair mount hammer here with a fairly high radius on it. And what you can do is just focus on the area where the bead is going to be and hammer on a hard substance. Like if you were using a hammer and dolly, I have a thick piece of metal here that's my dolly, and you can hammer like that. So if you hammer across your line, it's stretching out the panel just as it would with the English wheel. It just takes hammering with your hand instead of using the English wheel or a planishing hammer. And I can see the panel has a slight curve to it now because we've actually stretched the metal and added a little bit of stretching here in the line where we're rolling our beads. So I'm going to do that on all of these other lines, get them all stretched out, and then we can walk over to the bead roll and get these all laid out with beads. All right, so I got the pans all made up. In the last couple shots, what you saw is I was making a area that was sunken down so that you can put a flush removable panel to get to the brake master cylinder or your clutch master cylinder. So this is a common thing you'll want to do, and that's a quick little trick that you can use the offset dies in the bead roller to roll that, cut the piece out, and then you can cut a new panel to drop in there, and you have a nice flush fit panel that will all just get covered by your carpet or floor covering, and it just looks like it was never there. So that's a fun little quick project for you guys that want to make some real simple floor pans. You can take this from doing small little hot rod pans like this all the way up to doing full floor pans in like a 50s car. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this and you got a lot of information out of it. As always, you can click the link down below to learn about all the tools you saw in this video, and you can visit eastwood.com to get all the tools you need. Do the job right. Thanks, guys.